Pauline and this is Kieran, and together in our van Indy, we've started the adventure of our lives. We've set out to summit the highest mountain in every country of mainland Africa that has one over 2,500 metres. This is a total of 19 mountains, an overall elevation gain of 45 kilometres, which equates to climbing Everest 6 times from Kathmandu. We'll be travelling through 30 countries, starting in Morocco, all the way around the continent, back up to Egypt. This is our Trans-Africa project.
Good morning.
From a very cold Imlil.
Imlil is worlds apart from where we've just been.
Where it was nice and warm and sunny.
So for those that don't know, Imlil is at the base of Toubkal, which is the highest mountain in North Africa.
And the first mountain ever 19 mountain challenge.
Just the first. I think I am very excited, nervous. Definitely the highest mountain we've ever climbed. But we think we found a guide.
You have to have a guide for those who don't know. I think some people attempt it without a guide, but it's illegal.
Yep.
And if you get, obviously, found out, you can get fined. It's because there was an incident a few years back where people got killed on the mountain. So I think it's for tourist safety. And I think it helps the economy here as well.
Oh, definitely. So we're here a few days early with the plan to do some acclimatization.
We don't want high altitude sickness, it doesn't sound fun.
No.
And the mountain goes all the way up to 4,167 meters, if I'm correct.
Pretty much.
And you are more vulnerable to high altitude sickness from 2,500 meters. So we definitely want to make sure we have a great time by preparing ourselves for these conditions.
And the plan today is we're going to drive up to 2,500, and then we found a mountain nearby. We're going to climb that, which goes up to 2,870, I think. And then we'll come back down to the car, sleep at the base, and then that should start our acclimatization phase. Day one. So we'll see you at tonight's camp spot.
Look at that view though.
Wow.
Our plan was to drive to Tashdirt, a small village perched at 2,500 metres above sea level. This would be our base for the next couple of days as we explored the surrounding trails and hiked to varying altitudes. On day one of acclimatization, the path revealed itself gradually, its gentle gradient making for a pleasant ascent. We adjusted really well to the altitude. Welcome to day 2 of acclimatization.
Yeah, today we are going to be climbing this mountain up here. I'll put it on screen what it's called, but it's sitting at 3,800. Well, we're going to attempt to get to the top.
We had a bit of a delayed start because we found some, mice droppings and squirrel away nuts.
Yes, a very, very organised mouse. Very different to the British mice. British mice just eat the food that's there and poo where the food is.
We originally, when we found the empty bag of nuts, which was half a kilo, we thought we had an army of mice hidden in the van. Because how could one mouse eat so many nuts at once? But yeah, later on we found them all stacked in a corner, nicely peeled.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like really, really hard working mouse.
So spent a bit of time tidying everything up, putting the food in a safe place whilst we're away, so that hopefully they walk into our humane traps.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get them. But as we said, we're behind schedule, so we better get moving.
Let's go. Day 2, however, was far more challenging. Though the hike only took us 800 meters higher, it felt like much more. The ascent grew steeper, and the snow-covered terrain made every step more difficult to navigate. I found this hike particularly tough, and this really shook my confidence in my ability to manage Toubkal. On the first day of our Toubkal ascent, we met our guide Mohammed in the village of Ahmed. The weather was on our side and things were looking up.
Getting our passports checked in the gendarmerie. You ready? Yeah.
The hike up to the refuge was gentle and steady. But filled with the anxiety from my experience a couple of days prior, I struggled to find my confidence back. But despite this, we hiked the 11 kilometers and 1,300 meters of elevation gain to the refuge in a satisfying 5 hours. The accommodation was simple but sufficient.
We were told there was bedding and we didn't need to bring a sleeping bag. We've also been told by tourists that we're going down as we were coming up that it was -7 last night. This is what we've been given as bedding. One blanket. I'm worried.
The 4 o'clock alarm didn't come as too much of a shock, as the excitement of what lied ahead had made for a rather restless night's sleep. Following the trail of lights already ahead of us, we made our way up, step after step. Kitted with our crampons, the steepness of the trail was manageable. As the sun was rising, the air felt thinner, but the summit ever so closer. And before we knew it, here it was, the metal pyramid signifying victory. The views were astonishing and the energy was palpable. We took it all in for as long as we could before it was time to make our way back down.
So here we are, we've made it down and we're looking through the footage of everything we'd captured, and we're not totally happy with how the video is turning out.
I don't know that it is that we're unhappy. I think we had expectations and things are very different to what we expected. I think we wanted a bit more of the guide, kind of building that relationship, getting him to talk to us about Morocco, because I think we're here. We don't want to just be tourists that go around having a nice time, filming themselves having a nice time. I think we wanted it to feel a lot more authentic. We wanted to hear the people that are here, hear them tell us stories about why Morocco is such a great place, and we haven't really got that. We were hoping the guide would be one of these people, but things were slightly different.
Yeah, he seemed very interested in getting up there and very interested in getting down, which gave me and Pauline lots of space to be able to walk up there, but we ended up with lots of pressure because he was so far ahead of us the whole time, obviously being a local and probably climbed Toubkal 2,000, 3,000 times.
I was staying back, kind of hating on myself a little bit, thinking I was doing really poorly, that I was really slow, and that really kind of, well, rubbished the experience for me a little bit. I think what we need to bear in mind is that we did it during Ramadan, and it was a hot, even though it was in March, it was a hot couple of days, wasn't it?
It was.
And I
very
think it
fair
must have
weather.
been, yeah, it must have been really difficult for the guide. So he was going ahead, having breaks, which I completely understand. Like, we completely get it. But then we got to the top, and people were having nice, interactions with their own guides, and he went away, and we didn't really see much of him that evening either.
No.
That kind of left us to feel like, why did we get a guide? Because we never saw any of him really. So I think a bit of a bittersweet feeling for us, and I wish it had been slightly different. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and we really respect and we are grateful for his service.
But most importantly, that is #1 complete of our 19 mountain challenge. 18 more to go. That was also one of the bigger ones too. It kind of proves that it's feasible. So as long as we can get past all of the red tape, find guides to get into more dangerous countries, we should be fine to complete this challenge.
You've jinxed it.
Should be.